Welcome to HipboneClothing.com. I'm Jerome Delane, the owner. Today I'm going to show you a few steps in how t-shirts are printed. First step is the artwork, the design itself. Whether you're printing one color or multiple colors, all of the images need to be black on a transparency, exactly like I'm holding. The artwork is done on screen on a computer and printed on the Epson printer behind me, straight to the transparency. We take this transparency to the second step, which is the light table, and creating the stencil or screen itself. Over here we're at the light table, which we're going to turn on in a moment and show you how a stencil is actually burned and created. So what I'm going to do is actually lift up the light table, put our cushion to the side, start warming up the lights, that way they're at full capacity. I'll end up lining up our transparency on the light table by putting it in the center mark of the light table and locking down the transparency. Just a few pieces on 3 to 4 sides. And then I'm actually going to grab the stencil out of our darkroom, sit it right on top. Stencil is light sensitive. It can stand the light for a moment. So here's our screen with photo emulsion. Photo emulsion is what's actually going to adhere and hold the screen image. It's going to place it directly on top of the artwork, line it up so that it's in the middle of the screen, and place our cushion right on top. This helps light not come back and refract on the inside. Close it down. And then we'll turn it on for 10 seconds. Right after it's 10 seconds, time has elapsed. We're going to open it back up, take off the cushion, stencil's still through the bottom. We're going to take this, but you can't see it until you actually wash it out, over to the washout booth. So step 3 is actually washing the image out of the screen. The light did not pass through the image because of the dark transparency, which means light did not touch that part of the screen. So I'm washing the emulsion out of that area. So now that I've washed the image out of it, you can see the stencil itself has been removed from the emulsion around the entire area, leaving just the image for ink to pass through. So now that we have our stencil, we've taped up the back edges all around the border. This way, ink doesn't pass out the side edge when we're pushing throughout the entire stencil. Placing it in the C-clamps, making sure that it's lined up even to the board. So now that I've got it clamped, I'm going to grab some ink and do a test print. So I only need a little bit of ink. You want to coat the screen, flooding it, getting all of the design filled. Then I'll push back through, clearing out the design that had ink, which pushes it through the mesh. Now that we've pressed the ink through the screen a couple of times to help the ink pass through, we're going to lift the screen and look at the test print. As you can see, our test print is successful. From the graphic design on the screen, to the transparency, to the actual screen itself, pushing the ink through, we have all of the design that we want. Nothing's missing, splotchy, blurry. This is going to be what we use in mass production when we print our full run. Now that we've printed our design onto the shirt we want, we're going to fold it so just the image itself is exposed to the heat element in our conveyor belt dryer. Now that you know a thing or two about silk screening, Contact us today at hipboneclothing.com so we can help you pick out the right application for your t-shirt.